Brad Meltzer is here. Out today is a new book called Heroes for My Daughter, a follow-up to a book that he wrote. How many years ago was that? 3 years?
2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago, Heroes for My Son. Brad is a good friend of mine, and the Heroes for My Son is a great book. Heroes for My Daughter includes stories on Tina Turner and what she had in her pocket. You want to tell this story?
Yeah, and you know the story. Basically, 6 years ago on the night my daughter was born, I said, I'm going to write a book that lasts her whole life. And I was going to fill it with all the things she needed to become a great woman. And I wrote rules for her like love God and be nice to kids. And the truth was I'd done Heroes for My Son, as you know. You helped me launch it, Glenn. And for 2 years now, my daughter's been asking me, where the heck's my book? Right? That's been the number one thing she wants to know, because she's like, you got the son one, where's mine? But I looked at people like Tina Turner. Tina Turner, everyone knows as the rock star. But what I like about her, and she's, we have obviously Rosa Parks in here, Amelia Earhart, all the people that we all know and love. But what I love about Tina Turner is when she ran out of the hotel room after Ike had beat her up, you know what she had in her pocket? She had 36 cents and a mobile credit card. That was it. And after 16 years of cruelty, she walked out on Ike Turner. And what I think her lesson is for every young girl, but also every woman, is just to know that you have to fight back. And you have to never forget that no matter how deep the hole is, you can always find a way out. Because she kept saying to herself over and over, I will die before I go back. And, she fought her way to become, again, this great rock icon. But I said, I want my daughter to learn how to fight. I want her to learn how to stand up for herself. And so I picked heroes from Rosa Parks.
Tell me Sally Ride. Tell me Sally Ride. Why did Sally Ride? Why was she picked by NASA?
People say it was because when she was picked to be an astronaut, it was because she was a physics genius. Some say because she was a great athlete. Some say because she was fearless. And all those things are true. But here's what she also had to do. She had to answer an ad in her college newspaper that said NASA was looking for astronauts. And she had to look at a moment and seize it. And I said, I want my daughter, that's how she became the woman who did what no woman had ever done before. She saw a moment and she seized it. And I want that lesson for my daughter. And that's what Heroes for My Daughter was designed to be, is give her those lessons and examples.
One of my sister's heroes is Julia Childs, because Julia Childs was a massive failure.
Yeah, she was. You hit it right on the head. Everyone knows Julia Child. Everyone loves Julia Child. And she's always, she's one of my heroes because she was actually a spy also. People don't know that about her. She was a spy for the U.S. government as part of the OSS. But what I love about her is, she wrote the greatest cookbook of all time, Mastering the Art of French Cooking. But, she got rejection letter over and over again after 6 years of working at it. And everyone said this book is never going to work. And she never, ever, ever gave up. Her secret ingredient was the most vital ingredient of all, is to never give up on what you love. And I just said, I have to do that. The funny part is, Glenn, when I was writing the book, I handed in the first draft, and my editor said to me, we have a problem. I said, what's the problem? She said, you use one word over and over again in all these heroes. I said, what's the word? She said, fighter. She said, you use the word fighter. You use the word fighter in the Dalai Lama's entry. The Dalai Lama's a pacifist. I use the word fighter. But clearly, it tells you about me as a father. One, I'm overprotective of my daughter, no question about it. But two, and here's what I don't apologize for, I do want my daughter to learn how to fight. I tell her all the time, I say, you have to fight for something when you want it, and when you see injustice, you have to fight harder than ever before. And I also tell her, don't be the princess who's waiting for Prince Charming to come save you. You can save yourself. And I said, that's what I want the book to be filled with, examples of that.
Do you think that Heroes for Your Daughter is more important in today's world, or Heroes for My Son?
When I started doing the book, I thought I was going to do equal books for my son, one for my son, one for my daughter. My son would have more male heroes. My daughter would have more female heroes, and they would be exactly the same, and I'd treat them the same. But what I realized in that fighter comment that I just was talking about is I do treat my daughter differently. And you know why I do? Because the world treats my daughter differently. It is just a statistical fact, and I wish this weren't the case, but my daughter will have a harder life just by being a woman. She's going to, statistically make less money, have a harder time getting a promotion, and I hope these things will change, and we all hope these things will change. But I know that I do treat my daughter differently for that. Someone said to me, with our sons we inspire, and with our daughters we try and teach them how to battle, and we try and protect them. And I fight myself every day to be a good father and to put them on equal ground. But I know that, like any father with their daughter, I'm just always going to be protective of her.
Okay, can I ask you a question? There are male heroes in this book as well?
Oh yeah, of course there's male heroes. No,
because
you got to make a listen. If I just put male heroes for my son, I wouldn't be doing him justice. And for my daughter, of course, I mean, how do I not?
I just can't believe that. I can't believe that the Three Stooges is in.
You want to hear my Three? You got to hear the Three Stooges story, right? Because so yeah. Listen, let me start with the big one. Yes, I got to give my daughter Abraham Lincoln. I have to give my daughter Christopher Reeve. I got to give my daughter Ben Franklin, and I want to give my daughter. There are great heroes, male heroes that she, I want her to have. I saved Ben Franklin specifically for her because I just love him. But I have the Three Stooges in there, and I put that in there because my dad, when I was growing up, used to show me the Three Stooges. My mother hated it. My wife hates it. Most women hate the Three Stooges. Here's what no one knows about the Three Stooges, is that the Three Stooges were actually the very first ones to parody Adolf Hitler on film. Everyone thinks that Charlie Chaplin, the great dictator, was the first one, but the Three Stooges, who were three Jews, the Three Stooges were the first ones to parody him. They actually did it almost 2 years before Pearl Harbor. The Three Stooges stood up to the bully and said, you know what? Everyone said we can't make propaganda. Everyone said you're not allowed to do any propaganda about Hitler. Hollywood had a really kind of serious push on it not to do such things. And these three so-called idiots were the ones who stood up to him. And I said, I love that. I got to give my daughter the lesson of what it means to stand up to the bully.
So the name of the book is Heroes for My Daughter. It's out today. I have Heroes for my son. I will be getting Heroes for my daughter as well. Just great books. Brad is a good friend, a great writer, knows heroes. In my book, he is a hero himself. And Brad, it's always great to talk to you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Glenn, and I appreciate your support from the very start. Can I say one thing? The last hero in the book is the most important one because it's a blank page, and it says your hero's photo here and your hero's story here. And I promise you take a picture of your mom or your grandmother or military member of your family, and you write one sentence of what they mean to you, and you put it in this book, that's the most perfect page in Heroes for My Daughter. It's the hero that we live with every day.
Brad, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Heroes for My Daughter, available in bookstores everywhere.